Hey, what's up everybody? I'm back with another day of tracking my macros. I'm going to show you how I am building my meals for today so that I can hit my macronutrient goals, my protein, my carbs, and my fat, and then my overall calorie count. So I'm going to show you how I built today's. I woke up today and I thought, what if I just do everything different? A lot of people are not like me. I can eat the same thing basically every day, but a lot of people need more variation. So I thought, you know what? I'll wake up today, I'll build this in a way where it's different than any other day that I've ever done before. I'm going to use some of the same consistent things throughout the day as I do in other days, but I'm going to reorganize them. I'm going to make them different. Today I'm doing some breakfast burritos. Today I'm doing some tuna. So moving some things around so that it's not as predictable as most days are. For me, predictability is a big key for my success. For you, predictability may be something that derails you from your success because you just get sick of eating the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to show you how I have built today's plan, walk you through all my numbers, and do me a favor, of course, as usual, subscribe and like if you're not already. Now let's take a look at the food. All right, I'm going to show you how I built today's. Again, I went way different than, well, I shouldn't say way different, much different than my usual days. So let's take a quick look. So, of course, starting at the top as usual, let's look at the total calorie count. I want to be just over 1, but less than 50 preferably. And you can see I'm 24 over, so right in the middle of that range. That's great. My protein, carbs, and fat are all over just a tad. My fat is a little bit higher than I would like to see. I typically would like to trade that off a little bit with the protein, maybe make the protein a little bit higher here, but still well within my range, so I'm okay with this. So typically what I do on my normal days, as you know, the first things that I do is I add in a pre and a post workout. It's the first things, those are staples. I have basically the same thing every single day based on my numbers I'm trying to hit. Today I did not do that, just for a little bit of variation. I just went ahead and started with my standard meals and then started adding in some snacks and then worked my pre and post workout in after that. So let's take a look at how I built this. I went with a very simple breakfast. I went with cereal. Nothing crazy, no cooking, no nothing. Essentially went for a higher carb. Now, again, we've talked about this in the past, that when your first meal of the day starts out with a high fat content, you can see here I've almost got 20 grams of fat. It makes it so you have to pay more attention to the end of the day so that you don't blow your fat out. And we've already seen at the top, I'm a little bit high on my fat. So that's sort of one of the repercussions of starting off your day, pretty high fat content. So standard breakfast. Here I went with my lunch. In a weird way, I'm now doing my typical breakfast for lunch. I'm doing a couple of breakfast burritos. Gonna make them real simple. Gonna use only liquid egg whites. Again, because I use so much fat on my first meal, I don't wanna use regular eggs here because that would put my fat at probably a 20 grams instead of 9 grams. So I'm playing conservative on my fat here a little bit. You can see just the standard wellness wraps, liquid egg whites. It's a 1.5 cups this time. Then that'll be divided between the two. I got a little bit of low fat mozzarella cheese that I'll sprinkle on between the two. Just one serving, that's about 1/3 cup. And I'll split that between the two. Let's see here. The Ezekiel bread, of course, we've seen that. And some Greek yogurt. This is the flavored Greek yogurt, and that'll actually go on my Ezekiel bread just as a little bit of a topping. And I do toast my bread, by the way. So pretty easy lunch here, but nice numbers. A lower carb than I usually do for lunch. I'm actually trying to kind of push my carbs to after my workouts, which I usually do in the afternoons or early evenings. So I'm gonna put more carbs on my dinner, and which we happen to be here now. So the ground turkey, we've seen that on every meal for the last week. The reason it's on here now is this is the end of my ground turkey. I have no more made. I now have shredded chicken that I'll be going to probably starting tomorrow. So I really need to use this today. So this particular meal is very similar to other meals that we've seen. Now, one thing I'm noticing here is I didn't put any sour cream, the fat-free sour cream that I have, the flavorless, I keep saying sour cream, Greek yogurt. The Greek yogurt. And the reason I keep saying sour cream is it reminds me of sour cream. So you can see here 4 grams of protein. I mentioned before that my protein was a little bit low. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in, I got 22 calories. We saw before I'm at 24 for the day. So this put me at about 46. I'm still under my 50. So no fat on this. So my fat doesn't increase. This looks really nice. I'm just going to add this on as a little bit of a extra to put on my turkey and my rice and my sweet potato. And at the top, you can see now I'm 47 over, and I'm still well within my range with even that, I almost said sour cream again, with that Greek yogurt. So nice dinner there. For my pre-workout, I'm doing things, of course, a little bit differently. Usually it's a scoop and a half of whey protein before, and then a bunch of, well, I shouldn't say a bunch, 30 to 40 grams of carbs. Gonna go just very simple here. Just a tuna packet for some protein beforehand. I usually prefer the whey protein, but just mixing some things up here just to get a little bit of protein in a different way. My post-workout is a little bit more familiar. I typically don't do beef jerky. I did this kind of healthy beef jerky stuff, so I'm gonna have a little bit of that, and then of course my typical scoop and a half of protein. Usually my post-workouts, I'm looking to get between around 90 grams of carbs. You can see here I'm way off on my carbs for my post-workout. That's okay, we're doing things a little bit differently. I still hit my overall numbers for the day, so I'm not gonna be too concerned about it. Now, snacks. So the protein cookie, this is the Lenny and Larry's. This one I always also have to be careful on. It's very high in fat, 17 grams of fat as you can see, which certainly contributed to my overall numbers at the top, but 16 grams of protein, 54 grams of carbs. It's a nice snack. The remaining snacks, the wasabi peas, the raisins, and then the almonds, these are all things, I just mix these together in a bowl. You've seen these before, and put them together. Now, I just realized one thing though, and this is something you have to kind of watch for. On my breakfast, I added in a half a cup of raisins today, just because I like extra raisins in my cereal. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to add the natural California raisins, breakfast, half a cup. It's already set for that, but watch my numbers. My numbers are going to go way over, 287 calories over. So here's what I'm going to do. Since I added that half a cup on my breakfast, I'm going to remove that from my snack. It's the exact same thing, half a cup here, and my numbers will go back to where basically I just move them from one to the next. So I am not going to have those now for my snack later. It'll just be the dried wasabi peas and the almonds mixed together. So this is the end of my day. Again, this is my numbers at the top. This is where I hit. This is how I built it. Trying to mix some things up, move some pieces around, and add some things in that weren't in there before. And this looks good to me. So do me a favor, if you find this video to be helpful, please hit the like button. Let me know if you've got any questions on how I built this. The app I am using is called My Macros Plus, and I'll show you what that looks like on the main screen here. Top right, My Macros Plus. And that's it. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.